obviously, the group disbands in 90. By 91, Teddy, who you said they kind of pushed up to the top of the group, he goes to work with the biggest artist probably ever to touch a mic on this planet in Michael Jackson. And he produces one of Michael's biggest records ever, Dangerous. That record sells 32 million records.
Right.
Your brother goes on and he starts working on his album.
Right.
How are you eating during this period?
That's a good question, bro. And I respect it. Here we go. During that period of time when 90 happened and we broke up, Aaron in 94 goes in the studio to work on his first solo album.
Yep.
I'm between 90 and 94. I'm in Atlanta. And I'm like, dang, like I've saved a couple of dollars, but I've always been a survivor, right? I've always been like, okay, now you have to live off perception, right? It's almost like you gotta live off perception, because what are you doing? Right? So my name, Gospel Plays, Michael, it'll come to me. Anyway, from out of Detroit, he came and said, look, I'm doing a gospel play. Guy was big. I think you'd be dope in this play. It's called Fake Friends. We have Little G, you have Ollie Woodson, you have Roy Hawthorne from the Five Heartbeats, and Hawthorne James from the Five Heartbeats, Shirley Murdoch, Eric Dawkins.
So you're doing off-Broadway plays at this point. Small.
I started doing plays because I act more than I'm a phenomenal actor, well, for myself and people that see me. I love acting. That's my first joy.
Yep, and I want to get into that a little later on in the interview, because I know you have really done your thing with the acting, and that's a love of yours. I was just asking because there is a certain amount of equity that you have during that period that you want to cash in on, because 1990, 91, 92, y'all are the group. Even if you're not putting out new records, your music is new, it's still current. And what you're telling me is you didn't get a chance to take advantage of that even by touring, because the group couldn't get on stage together. Now, question for you.
Right.
Did you and your brother during that time have beef? I know Aaron went on. He started working on his solo thing. You know, it's alleged that him and Teddy stopped speaking for a period of time. How was it in the Hall household?
Well, first of all, I ain't never have no beef with my brother. Never in my life. Regardless, now, if you ask the question, did we ever stop talking to each other for a long period of time?
Yes.
But that happens in most families.
How long is long? How long are we talking?
Too long. You know what I'm saying? You could go, months.
Okay, but this is not years. We're not talking you I know the group broke up in 90. Y'all didn't get back together to 99. I'm assuming y'all had a relationship in between that time.
Well, I'm gonna tell the story. If you're allowed, I'm gonna tell it. There will be stints in our life where we didn't speak at all. Not because I didn't want to speak, because Aaron is good at disappearing. You know what I'm saying? He'll disappear on you, boom. And he ain't answering no calls. He ain't talking. He ain't nothing. And that's fine, because as long as it's making him happy, I'm cool, right? But in the aspect of Guy, we would come in and out with each other and I'll be doing something. I say, yo, I want you to come. Me and you need to do this. Here you go. Oh man, all right, I'll come. And then you'll see me and Aaron, when Pharrell first started, me and Aaron in the pictures, and we're doing stuff. Me and Aaron with Charlie Wilson, You'll see us do little things with each other, little interviews with each other, because what I was trying to do in the midst of the confusion, like, damn, dog, we are missing a lot of money. When I say Guy left a ton of money on the table to this day, a ton of money between 90 and 90, a ton of money, because personality, because ego, because whatever, because I'm being, again, when you got people pushing you and making you seem like you are everything to the group, and it's okay, but it's sad when you think about the group. I'm taking myself out of the group, and I'm looking as a grown man looking at it. Like, where could we have been if, I don't care if you do Dangerous album, if you went and you did Blackstreet, if you do Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, you should. That's how great you are, bro, as a producer. But what people should never do is forget the foundation that made that all even more possible. You understand? Because if Guy never came out, let's think about this. If Guy never dropped, there was never a Guy, and you just hope that Teddy Riley would have came out, Kids at Work wasn't no real big group, and he did Keith Sweat and this. Let's say if that didn't happen, think about it. If you take one thing out of your life, it could have changed the whole fashion of your life. You understand? One thing could change that.
No, I totally understand. And your point was well taken.
Yeah, and with me, it's like, you never ever, and I always tell people this. I tell young cats this. I tell people who are partners with their friends in any capacity. Where you lose out your love, your happiness, your peace of mind, your sanity, is when you start thinking that you can manipulate the relationship. And that goes in any relationship, bro. When you say, I can manipulate relationship because I can do this on the side, they won't know. I can do this, not mention them, make me bigger. So when I come back, it's about me. You lose it, because you're never taking my gift away. I'm still going to be Damion. When I hit that stage, you're not overshadowing me. It's impossible to do that.
Let me ask you this, because I asked you about your relationship with your brother during that time. What was your relationship like with Teddy during that time? And I want to paint the picture for a second. Teddy arguably skyrocketed. He goes after the Future album, your second album. He does Michael Jackson. And then he forms another group in Blackstreet. What was your relationship like with Teddy? Were you pissed that instead of him trying to come back and capitalize on the momentum that Guy still had, he goes and transitions and starts with a new group in Blackstreet? In Blackstreet, they blew.
Right.
So what were you sitting there? Like, did you and Teddy have a relationship at that point?
Good question. We had no relationship at that point. None. When Teddy left in 90, he left. Like I said, and I want to keep this in perspective, I came into the group to help my brother to be a support in whatever capacity I was going to be a support in, right? I didn't come in and say, I'm going to be a third member, then I'm going to be just as big as Teddy and Aaron, and I didn't come in with that mindset. I came in strictly to help my brother. So when Teddy left the group, it threw me off, because how can you leave a group that made you who you are, regardless of, and trust me, I want him to do Michael Jackson. If I had do Michael Jackson, do whoever. You deserve to do that. This cat is one of the best producers on the planet. So he deserves that. What wasn't deserving is the disrespect that we got, me and Aaron got, in the process of all of it happening. You understand? So, and you asked about Blackstreet. Chauncey Hannibal was living with me I was taking care of Chauncey, took care of his family. This was when Guy was even together. You understand? I was taking care of Chauncey. Chauncey, we was doing another group. I forget the other cat who was a producer in New Jersey. And I was coming in and was watching over that group. I introduced Chauncey. Chauncey went down to Virginia Beach, met Teddy. Now, I didn't think anything of it. I wasn't there. I didn't think anything of it. Then to find out, because Chauncey was signed to me as another group, like I said, the group that was in New Jersey, he took Chauncey and put Chauncey in Blackstreet, and Chauncey became the lead singer of Blackstreet. Again, I'm not even upset at that. It's the disrespect of, if it wasn't for Damion, I wouldn't be in Blackstreet first and foremost. I'm talking for Chauncey at this point. If Teddy had any respect on the group and the relationship that we had for all, I mean, it seemed like it'd be a lot of years. But again, we're talking a 2.5 year max time frame. You understand? With all that greatness, where the buzz was everything Guy. But the love that we had was like cemented with each other. How could you do that and not come to me and say, yo, D, I got Chauncey. I know he was down with you. Doing this Blackstreet. I want you to be part of this. Not the group, but I want you to be part of this. You're going to get paid for it, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have found him, and da-da-da-da-da. That's what any real business, brother, family would have done. You understand? But again, I say in this business, it's not like that. So I can't fault Teddy, because that's an ignorant thing, right? It's a ignorance. Like, I don't care. We ain't talking. I left the group for whatever reason, whatever. I don't have to say nothing. I'm do me, because I'm going to still be me. So I'm going to do Blackstreet. I already got Dangerous album about to drop, and that's 32 million. Blackstreet comes out, sells 8 million records, right? Does great. I don't know if that was second album or the first album, but sells 8 million records, does extremely well. As far as selling records, sold more records than Guy ever did. Period. One of their albums sold more than our records put together.
Correct.
But at the end of the day, they're not Guy.